In the 2013 field season, we decided to focus on an extension to the triangular fort that may have been built in 1608, may have been built later, we don't know, but we know that from finding pieces of wall lines, trenches in the ground where there were upright logs, had either been removed or had rotted in place, that we could trace the outline of the extension. We focused in this area east of the fort, opened up several 10-foot squares near the graveyard of the church, and actually in the graveyard of the church. We expected to find grave shafts, which we did all over the place, but hoped that some of the early fort features from 1608 would survive. They did. We found the palisade line, probably 70 to 80 feet more of it that is on the far eastern edge of the extension. And the other real find was that we found where the palisade line ends, very close to where we had traced the extension going east from the fort. So that's telling us that that's a breaking point where there may be a building or some other defensive outwork that would make sense to have it at a corner. So success. You know, we had a goal, we reached it, but we also found other 17th century features. Not only do we find the palisade line that we were planning to find and that we wanted to look for, but also there's evidence here of planting rows, that this could be one of the earliest, if not the earliest, English garden outline that we found archaeological remains of in the country.
So I'm standing here east, about 120 feet east of James Fort, and we found agricultural furrows out here. The furrows are about 3 feet apart, and it looks like they just took a shovel or a hoe and excavated the soil, putting it on top of a mound on top of the topsoil. In other words, you have 2 layers of topsoil that you're planting in, and the water can get straight into the roots. It is 1607. And we know that because it's cut by the 1608 palisade, which we found this summer. It's debatable as to what they grew here. There's a lot of different things in the historic records: pineapples, orange, cotton trees, sweet potatoes, and John Smith actually says they grew corn. Whether that's Indian corn or English barley or wheat, we don't know. So we'll keep you guys informed. We're going to be doing soil chemical analyses and pollen analyses to try and figure out what they would have been growing. The pollen would have come off the plants and is actually stored in the soil. And if it survives, which is a good question, then we'll know what was growing out here. So that's an exciting future thing for us to look for. In all probability, this is the earliest agriculture, English agriculture, found in the New World. Based on the fact that we have the 1608 palisade cutting the furrows, it points to the historic documents where the Virginia Company had told them to plant and John Smith says they planted. And that appears to match, the archaeology matches the historic record, which is what we do out here.